Good morning, man. Grace and peace in the Lord Jesus be with every single person today. So, today is day one of a little series. It's called The Teachings of Jesus Christ. And the only reason I'm starting this up is because so many people, including myself for a while, so many people know who Jesus is. They know that he's a person that existed. They know the claims made about him. And so many people even would claim on a survey that they're a Christian. But not many people actually know the words and the teachings of Christ. So I thought, you know what? I was reading the book of Matthew and I realized there's not that many words. So why don't we just go by one and learn about who Christ is. So today is day one. The first teaching of Christ is this: man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. So, many people have heard of the concept of 40 days and 40 nights. And in the time when he was fasting in the desert, with no food or water, the devil came to him and he asked him a simple question. If you truly are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread. The reflections I took away from this is when I read it, what shocks me the most is just seeing how the devil uses the same tactics on us today. In a time of consecrated fasting, for clarity and for discernment, the devil's first offer is doubt of God's power and worldly solutions. It's really hard to have strong faith in these times when you're in that desert in our own lives. And in all of these moments, the father of all lies, Satan, he whispers in our ears. And he tells us, well, if your God really was powerful, command that these stones become friends. Command that these stones become happiness. Command these stones become fulfillment, whatever that might be for you. But in that moment, what he didn't know is that the Lord was fasting on purpose, because the Lord's teaching was, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. So at the end of the day, it didn't really matter. At the end of the day, when we get tempted by the devil to do things when we're living in that desert in our own lives, we can go off the first teaching of Jesus Christ and to know that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Because if we were living by the mouth of God and not by bread alone, we would know that our bodies are only an earthly tent. We would know that blessed are those who are persecuted. Blessed are your trials and tribulations. We would know that God works out things for those who love him. We would know that he's the same God that saved and delivered David out of his afflictions. We would know the Psalms. We would know the story of Daniel. We would know these stories, and we would not fall into despair, because the only thing the devil can offer us is our worldly bread, is whatever bread will make us full again. Unfortunately, worldly bread won't stay around for long. Our fleshly appetite will only be filled for a couple hours before we need more bread again. It's less than a day, and the bread will never fully and eternally sustain us. And whatever that bread is for you, bread doesn't even have to be a bad thing. But whatever that is, if you're ever in a state of fasting, we have the example from the Lord our Christ that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of the mouth of God. that is the food that will never perish. That's the food that will never make us be hungry again. And we will be able to be content in every situation, knowing what we rely on. So, I pray this has encouraged you. I pray that your week might go however the Lord allows it to go, that you might be living in comfort and peace in your heart, and the Lord Jesus might grant you all peace, all understanding, all wisdom, all protection in your life. I love you guys. I'll see you whenever the next video comes.